Hey there, everybody. Thomas Wood with Basecamp Trading. It is Wednesday, July 12th, and we're going to take a look at NVDA, and we're going to be talking about more price action setups, price action momentum setups, I should say, in some equity markets. And NVDA is the one we're taking a look at today. So what's just happened here with NVIDIA over the past few days? We broke through what we call a micro trend on the dailies. So overall, NVIDIA has been in an uptrend. Within the context of that uptrend, we put in a lower high and a lower low, referring to the pivot points. So what do you do when you have that lower high within the context of an uptrend? You draw a downward angled trend line. And if you break that trend line, that line is what we call the line in the sand. If that's broken, we look for an accelerated move to resume the original trend, just like we've had the past couple of days. Now, the thing that you watch for the next steps with this market is, can we break through the previous pivot highs? Right now, today, as we speak, we're testing the previous pivot high at about 162. Once we get through 162, then we're looking at 168.5 at the all-time highs. Once we get through there, then it should be clear to keep climbing. Now, I will say this. The daily's momentum are picking back up. Momentum on the daily price chart's picking back up. But you want to be really careful because we are flirting with weakening momentum on the monthlies here. All right? This does not look all that good on the monthlies. It's what we call a bearish divergence, where we jumped up to higher prices. We've jumped up to higher prices, but we have significantly weaker momentum than the last time we had a move. So it would not surprise me if over the next couple of months, or next several months, if we go back into a consolidation or even retrace a little bit, similar to what we did back here, where we consolidated for a number of months before surging higher once more. So again, be careful. We're kind of extended with weakening momentum on the monthlies, and we have a little bit of a bearish divergence. So watch for potential consolidation. Now, that being said, dailies are still looking good. We're flirting with that 162 resistance. Once we're through there, we're looking at 168.5 or 169. And then once you're through there, you're at highs, and the trend should continue to climb. Now, how do you manage? The next question is, so, okay, if we were in this trade on the micro trend break, how do you manage the trade? How do you manage the position? Well, one of the things you can do is you move stop to break even for your full position. And then for half of it, you trail your stop by one price bar, or just a little bit below the previous price bar's low. That way, as long as it continues to surge, you'll continue to trail your stop for half the move. And if it turns around and starts to pull back, you get out of half your position, and then the second half you use a little bit larger trailing stop and allow it to move even further. The last time this happened here with NVIDIA was right back here. We had a micro trend overall climbing market, put in the lower pivot high, draw your line in the sand, you break through the trend line, accelerate higher, and just like we have right now, you would have been looking at first resistance being this pivot high here, and then your second resistance would have been the pivot highs up here, and you broke through right through both of them and continued to climb. So that's what you want to see. We'll be keeping an eye on it going forward. Let's follow up really quick with a couple of the ones we've looked at previously. Apple is one. We talked about Apple just sitting on top of the support and waiting to see if it's going to be able to break down. Well, it's still moving sideways. So what you want to be watching now with Apple is we're kind of gone range bound. We'll look at support at 142.20 and resistance at 148.30, and we'll be watching for the breakout. Right now it's just kind of neutral. Moving sideways, consolidating. And then we also talked about Tesla previously and how it was too extended, just like we said before. Remember, we wanted to see it. If it was going to go lower, it needed to break through 303.4. Obviously, unable to do that. Like we said before as well, you didn't want to sell it down here because it was too extended already and watch for a bit of a bounce. Well, we've gotten that bit of a bounce. Now, overall market's still very weak momentum on both the dailies and the weeklies, and we're still forming that bearish engulfing on the monthlies, so we'll still keep an eye on it. But this is why you do not sell and chase a market down, because as soon as you happen to jump in there, it bounces right back up. So with this, you're still going to be watching that pivot low support down at 303. And if we can get through there, then we're looking at 290. Once we're through 290, then you're clear to drop all the way down to 244 or so. So that's it for today. I'll see you in the trading room bright and early tomorrow morning. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying these videos. And until next time, happy trading.